Okay, welcome everybody to our week number 3. We're about to start today. Thank you for being here. We're about to start. And today we're going to start talking about we're going to start talking about injections. This is a great, like topic that we have today. So just give me a moment. I want to share with you my slides and I want you to please pay attention, okay? So remember that last week we talked about different topics. We talked about, remember that last week we talked about, like mental health, about preventive health care, how important it is, to be always healthy and to understand, what are the ways in which we can be like health. And today we're going to continue talking about the topic, yeah. And today we're going to talk about vaccines and injections. So let's see what are the objectives that we have for today. What are the objectives? Let's read, and here it says, let's learn about vaccines, the different types, and how they protect people. And also, let's identify the main types of vaccines. So, as you see here, last week we talked about different types. Remember, we talked about preventing healthcare, how to take care of ourselves. And today we're going to continue talking about, like how to take care of ourselves through vaccines. Yes. So if you have studied, like nurse, if you're a nurse, yes, or if you love studying like medicine, because here I have some professional people that they already have a different major, yeah. So if you didn't know, you would understand this topic, yes. So the purpose of today's class is not to teach you, like very giving like complex, like definitions with technical words. It's like a whole, just like a simple, okay, definition of different types of injections, of vaccines, and also the what's the difference, between like vaccines and injections. Yeah, that is the main. Because I know that you might say, what is it going to be this useful, or helpful for me? But it's because since you're studying, how important it is to learn how to prevent those type of like illnesses. So what do you understand when we talk about vaccine? So remember, guys, for those who haven't downloaded the Google application, I invite you guys to download it, install it in your device so you can see this presentation and you want to see it translated into Spanish. Okay, so please use it. And I already shared with you these documents, the presentations. So please, I share with you all these presentations. So please read it. So let's read. What do we understand when we talk about vaccines? And it says, vaccine is a preparation that is used to stimulate the body's immune response against diseases. Vaccines are usually administered through needle injections, but some can be administered by mouth or spray into the nose. So there are different types, where you can get administered the vaccine. Vaccines are designed to prevent diseases, like rather than treat it. They do this by priming a person's immune system to recognize a specific disease causing bacteria, virus, and other pathogens. So you can see here, that is a preparation. So we call vaccines because some people might get, like confused with vaccines and injections. But vaccine is only, the preparation that is used to stimulate this. Okay. And there are different types, where you can get, administered, as you can see here, by needle, by injections, okay, or by mouth, as you can see. Yeah, because this is for little, like children, or it's sprayed, even sprayed into the nose. Yes. And how important it is, you remember due to the pandemic, a lot of people didn't want to get vaccinated because they were afraid on this type of vaccines. But how they help us to prevent those type of, like diseases. And now here in Guatemala, we have, like it's a right for us to get administered this type. And also in here, I know that our health, like ministry is not that good as we would really like it to be. But there are some vaccines that are for free, and we have to take advantage of them, like here. So, and we're going to see here what are Why should I get vaccinated? So let's see here. Why should you why should you get vaccinated? Because you might say, I really don't like, I'm afraid of, like needles, injections are for me. And I understand that some of you probably when you were younger were afraid to, this type of, because you might say because of the needle. But it says, but why should I get vaccinated? It says that they help protect not only the person who gets vaccinated, but also others, herd immunity. That means, for example, you have to think about your family because once a person, got infected with any type of virus, so all the people, they are also, for example, they can get the same virus. So that's why it says that not only one person, okay, in this case, is going to get infected. So that how important it is to protect not only you, but your family, your children, your parents, okay? Because as it says, herd immunity. Also, vaccines will help keep you healthy. Yeah, we're going to keep healthier. How important it is, the rate of death in the world is really very high. Even in those places where those with vaccines or people cannot reach, to those vaccines because they think that, for example, they are in some of places they are very expensive. But if you prefer, probably you can go, yeah, to some, like institutions where they offer this, for free. But they will keep you very healthy, because sometimes a lot of people, when they do not get vaccinated, they unfortunately pass away or they die. So also it says vaccines have helped eliminate or reduce many deadly diseases, you know? So vaccines are as important to your overall health as diet and exercise. So the first one said, that it helped eliminate or reduce many deadly diseases, Yes. So how important it is when preventing all type of diseases. A lot of people, they don't have access to education, to, all these type of vaccines. And but once they got vaccinated, they got administered, they stop with the deadly diseases. So how important, it is for you guys. And also they are important for you as a diet and as an exercise. So if you, for example, try to eat healthy, you do your exercises, you sleep your 8 hours a day, yeah, you have a good mental health. The problem would be that if you're afraid to vaccines, so that will be a big problem. So that's why they are really very important, as diet and exercises. Yes. Vaccines are safe. They all got with all the licenses, so they're really safe. They have a lot of researchers with, the professionals where they have, like done deeply studies, the research men. So they are really very safe. I know that when you remember with the pandemic, so a lot of people was really very afraid. They didn't want to get vaccinated, and they are still alive, yeah, because that was a time that they were doing at the first. But vaccines are really safe. You don't know, probably you might prevent, like death. So unfortunately, a lot of people pass away because before vaccines, were starting here getting people get administered this type of vaccines. So people unfortunately died. So they are really safe. That's why we really need to, like trust on those professionals who has taken a lot of time, doing all those type of researchers. When you get sick, your children, grandchildren, and parents may also be at risk. So all the people might be at risk because when you get sick, for example, so how important it is to protect yourself from any type of disease. How? Getting vaccinated, you know? So that is when you get sick. So that's why we need to get vaccinated. Your family and coworkers need you. Yes. So that's why you should get vaccinated. Because when you are sick, you probably won't go to work, won't study, won't be active, and how important you are for your family and coworkers. Most for your family because they really need you. Okay, your children, your parents, your siblings, and all the people who really love you. I know that sometimes, even in our jobs, yeah, there are, like some. companies where you really are family. So they really know how important they don't really need you, in their lives. So, that's why you should get vaccinated. And that is my advice for you guys. Yes, for you today to get vaccinated, even if you are afraid, even you don't want to, even you think that they are not safe, you should, you know, get vaccinated if you want to prevent future diseases. Okay. So it says, why should I get vaccinated? Now we're going to talk about the vaccine types. Here we're going to have just like a general concept or terms on vaccine types. Yeah. So yeah, in this case, so as I told you before, if you already know a little bit about medicine or you're a nurse or professional in health, you will really understand this type of vaccine types. So they are different and they depend how they're going to be administered on the type even of illnesses. So let's read, and it says inactivated vaccines use the kill version of the germ that causes a disease. So they give you here, like the process, how it works. And inactivated vaccines usually don't provide immunity or they do not provide protection. That's as strong as live vaccines. So you may need several doses over time in order to get ongoing immunity against diseases. They are used to protect against, here we have some of the illnesses, for example, hepatitis A, the flu, polio, and rabies. This is only for you to give you some examples with inactivated vaccines. Then we have the live attenuated vaccines. Live attenuated vaccines, they use a weak or attenuated, that means weak or attenuated form of the germ that causes a disease. Because these vaccines are so similar to the natural infection that they help prevent, they create a strong as long-lasting immune response. So live vaccines are used to protect against, you see there, the measles, the mumps, rotavirus, smallpox. You remember the smallpox? Yeah. Those are, like small, like pots for children, chicken pox, the same. And the yellow fever. So this type, you see how important they are? And so that depends, that's why since we're children, we really recommend you know, to get vaccinated to our children, the little ones, with the type of vaccines. Then we have in here other types of vaccines. Yeah. These are general concepts for you guys. Okay. So only for you to have got an idea of the type of vaccines. Did you know that we have all these type of vaccines? Yeah. So we have other one, which is the subunit, recombinant, the polysaccharide, and conjugate vaccines. These vaccines use specific parts of a germ, like proteins, sugars, or its outer shell, to create a strong and targeted immune response. They are safer for most people, including those with immune system or chronic health issues. They protect against diseases like we have here, like hepatitis B, yeah, the B, HPV, that is the human papillomavirus, and pneumococcal diseases. They protect. How important it is, to administer this one, the human papillomavirus. Now, this, if you have gotten, like vaccinated, this is especially for women, it is very important, this type of vaccines, because in here, we're going to prevent, I remember that before, we didn't have access to this type of vaccines for free. Now, if you can see, if you have, your daughters, they are, like from 11 to, like 17 years. So it's really important to get vaccinated because now this type of vaccines are for free, and that is a good advantage that you will really take into account because of, how a lot of you want to prevent, like cancer. So that is really great. So I remember that in the past, I remember that they were really, or even now, they are really very expensive. You have to, they are like 3 doses and you have to pay like 1,100 per each one. Imagine that. So it's really very expensive. But now we have, this benefit. So in our health system, I know that our health system is not as good as we really wish it would be, but at least we have access to this type of vaccines for free. So I would really recommend you, yes, to go, and you got children, you got girls, so please, yeah, you will really take. Okay, but then we got the toxoid vaccines, and it said that they use a harmful substance that is called the toxin made by the germ, not the germ itself. They help the body build immunity to the toxin that causes the disease. These vaccines are used to protect against diphtheria and tetanus. You see? So we have, like here, like four types. Yeah, yes. And then we have here more type of vaccines, these ones that are called the viral vector vaccines. So these are the last two that we have. The viral vector vaccines, and it says that they use a harmless modified virus like adenovirus to deliver instructions that help the body protect, you know, and they protect against, as you can see there, they protect, like against diseases like, and this is technology has been used for diseases like the Ebola, the Zika, flu, the HIV, and COVID-19, even with COVID-19. And it was also used to develop some COVID-19 vaccines. So they use them because then we have the mRNA vaccines. And it says that they teach the body to make a protein that triggers an immune response. They do not contain a live virus, so they cannot cause the disease. This technology, used in some COVID-19 vaccines, allows for faster production compared to other vaccine types. So, did you know that there are, like we have, like 4, 6 type of vaccination? Yeah, but that depends, That's why, yeah, we really need to go, to our with a professional person to get the type of vaccination, because you cannot administer just because you want to. If you know about health, yeah, for sure that you can do it. But if not, you will really understand and learn which one is the based on our needs. Okay, and now we're going to see how they work. How do vaccines work? Yes. How do vaccines work? Here I have a video for you guys. Yeah, just give me a moment. I have problems with my memory at the beginning, but I need to show you guys this video because I want you to guys and you'll learn how they work. Yeah, and it says, as you can see here, we have in this, like infographic, it says weak or dead bacteria are introduced into the patient often by injection. White blood cells are activated to produce antibodies that fight the disease. If the microorganism reinfects the person, the antibodies neutralize the invading cells. So you can see, for example, that they act, for example, like an army, as you can see. Yeah, here we have by steps, as it says, how do vaccines work? Imagine your immune system like an army. You can imagine that a lot of soldiers, like an army. And it said that the immune system protects your body from viruses and bacteria. We call them like germs. When a new germ enters your body, your immune system needs time to learn how to fight it. So that's why, what that is, once it enters our system, and during that time, you can get very sick. Yeah, and that's why people get afraid because they get very sick. But it says that a vaccine gives your body a safe preview of the disease. So it contains a weak, dead, or small part of the virus or bacteria. This is not enough to make you sick. So, but it helps. It is gonna help, your immune system learn. Your immune system builds memory cells to recognize the real virus later. So now I'm gonna show you here the video because I think, just give me a moment. I guess I'm gonna share with you now here the video, okay, for you. And you're going to see here, the way it really works. And in here you will understand how important it is to get vaccinated and the way it works. Because sometimes Probably you might be afraid because you don't know what it has been administered, on your body. And you might think that probably be wondering the way it works. So that's why I'm going to share with you now this video. I guess I already have it in here. Let's see if now it works. Because I used to have it in here, but we have a kind of problem. Let's see if now we have it in here. Yes, I guess this is yes. Okay, and I want you to please pay attention. I don't know if you can hear and see. Yes. Can you see, please, if you can hear and see? Okay. Okay, so I'm going to pay attention, we're going to listen and watch how the vaccines work. And it says,
The immune system works because vaccines harness the natural activity of your immune system. There are about 100 trillion bacteria and viruses on your body. Not all of them cause disease, but some are able to get inside our bodies to multiply, and this can make us ill. There are barriers to stop this happening, but suppose some disease causing bacteria do get through. Your immune system is quick to recognize them as invaders. This is because the proteins or sugars on the bacteria's surface have different shapes to any of the ones in a human body. They trigger a complex chain of events involving many different types of white blood cells working together. One type of white blood cell is able to make antibodies to fight the invaders. Antibodies can stick to the proteins or sugars on the bacteria's surface, and this kills the bacteria or disables them. However, not all antibodies will work against these bacteria. They have to be exactly the right shape, a bit like a key fitting a lock. Our bodies have a library of billions of white blood cells, each of which can make just one shape of antibody. Only a few of these antibodies will match the invading bacteria. Producing antibodies of the right shape can take several days. By this time, there could be billions of disease-causing bacteria in your body. Once the right cells are activated, they quickly divide and turn into a production line, making masses of antibodies that stick to the bacteria. Eventually, your body gets rid of all the bacteria and you recover. Antibodies remain in the blood, and some white blood cells may also become memory cells. If those specific bacteria invade the body again, the immune system will respond so quickly that you won't get ill. Vaccines work in the same way. They contain weakened or dead bacteria or viruses, or even just a few proteins or sugars from the surface. This is enough to convince the immune system that a real invader has got in. The same process takes place as when real bacteria or viruses invade our bodies, except you don't get ill. Afterwards, if your body ever meets the real thing, your immune system will remember it and get rid of it before you even know it's there.
okay. So we're going back to our presentation. Any here? Yes, and you could watch there. Yes, so you for you guys so you can understand better. You know what or how do vaccines work? Once they're in our body, yeah, how do vaccines work? As I told you before, imagine your immune system just like an army, it says. I was reading here in the comments and it says, Ana Laura, is there a WhatsApp group about this class? Yeah, there is a WhatsApp channel. This is not a group, so it's only a channel. It's only for me to share with you materials. That means that you cannot add any comment just for you guys. Okay, that is for us what I'm going to share. For example, if we have like an emergency, so I share with you information, but okay. And then Alba Inet, yes. Yeah, I share with you yes, the link for you where you can find all the presentations. Thank you, Alba. Okay. So, and that is for you. And as you could see here, then the way, vaccines work, you could see the immune system protects your body from all the viruses and all the bacteria. And once, as you could watch there, once the germs enter your body, the immune system needs time to learn how to fight it. And that's why some people, get worse and they got sick and they really get worried about it. But it's only that means, that the body really needs, that to learn to fight it. And so then the vaccines give you the safe to prevent you of the disease. Yeah, and it contains weak, there are small parts, which is not enough to get sick, And your immune system builds memory cells to recognize the real virus later. Okay? And now here, injections, It is a when talking about the injections, this is the act of putting a liquid into the body by means of a syringe. Injections deliver liquid medications like fluids or nutrients directly into a person's body. A healthcare professional can use injections to administer vaccines. Remember when we talk about the vaccines, yeah? So there are different types to get administered, and one of them is through, like injections. And it said that a healthcare professional can use this type of injections to administer vaccines and other types of medications into a person's vein, muscle, skin, or bones. Yeah, as you can see here, So remember the difference with vaccines and injections. So here, they are, like linked. Yeah, they are linked. So we're talking about injections. And let's see, what are the types. So are you afraid of injections? Yes. And you guys, are you afraid of injections when you see the syringe? Yes. No, you're not. When you Probably now you're not, but when you were younger, maybe when you were little. Yeah. So now it says, what are the type of injections? Here we have, it said that we have four type of injection. It says we have the intramuscular, subcutaneous, intravenous, and intradermal. And as you can see here, the skin, that it has like the layers. Yeah, it said we have the epidermis, the dermis, subcutaneous tissue, and the muscle. And as you can see here, these are the layers on our skin. So each one has a specific place where it has to be administered, or injected. So that's why only a professional, in health has to be in charge of this type of injection, because you cannot do it by yourself. So if you are not a professional, in order to avoid, you want to avoid, for example, that then a lot of people get pains, you might get hurt. So only professional person is the one that has to be in charge, about this type of how to administer this type of injections. And let's read now what are the type of injections. And it says here, as you can see here, we have the intramuscular, the first one. It says, and let's read what it says. They are given deep into a muscle, as it said. You can see here in the picture, yeah, a muscle. So in here, I'm going to highlight, underline this, yeah. So it says intramuscular into the muscle here, the muscle, yeah. So you see, so that's why each one has to be, like very for a specific type. And it said that they're giving into the muscle, allowing the medicine to be absorbed quickly by nearby blood vessels. They are commonly used for certain antibiotics like penicillin, hormone treatments like testosterone, and for patients who cannot take medication by others' methods. So you see, that's why a professional person has to be in charge, because he knows what type of injection should be administered. You know, and for hormone treatments like penicillin or testosterone. And what about the next one, which is called the subcutaneous injections? They are given into the fatty layer just beneath the skin and above the muscle using a small needle. This method causes less pain and fewer side effects like infections. So these injections are commonly used for insulin for diabetes, measles, and chickenpox vaccines, and some home medications like Dupixent and fertility drugs. So these are the type of subcutaneous injections that you can see here. It said that it is, administering here the subcutaneous tissues. That's why that is for this type of diseases, of illnesses. Then we got, you can see here as its name it says itself, we got the intravenous injection, and it says, that intravenous injection, they deliver medication directly into a vein. That's what as you could see there, with the layers, it says into the vein, making it the fastest method of drug delivery. So they are used to give fluids and electrolytes. For example, we had the dehydration, anesthesia during surgery, nutrition for malnourished patients, Remember we talked about nutrition last week? So the malnutrition for malnourished patients and monoclonal antibodies like COVID-19 treatment. So that's why it is called the intravenous injection. And as you can see here, it is administered, directly to the vein. Okay? Yes, here, this, the intravenous, and it says, yeah, you can see here, yeah, the intravenous. So these are the type, like that's why it has to be directly to the vein. That's why it said that is the fastest way, when administering any type of injection or vaccines, through injection. So, and then we got intradermal, intradermal injections, and it says that intradermal injection, that's the meaning of ID. They are given directly into the middle layer of the skin called the dermis. Common uses of intradermal injections may include the allergy testing, tuberculosis, TB screening, administration of influenza vaccine, or flu zone ID, intradermal injections. Yeah, they are in the middle of the layer of the skin called the dermis. So you can see, let's go back. Yeah, dermis. It's like the first layer. You can see, yeah. So we have the first layer, then intravenous, then we have the subcutaneous, and to the muscle. Those are the type of injections that a professional, health professional person should administer, in order to, know how important it is, learning all the type of vaccines, the type of vaccines and the type of injections to be administered in our bodies. Okay. Yes, here we have the intramuscular, yeah, the intravenous injection and intradermal injections. Yes. Okay. So then these are, the types. You know how important it is then so to learn about it, how our health, and it is very important, for us to learn and understand, the means where are going to be administered, the vaccines and the injections. Also, some of them with serums, also they're administered, with serums that people really need, but that depends on their needs or the thing they really, or the type of illness, they have. So that's why this is, the today's topic we have. So I have in here some extra, like minutes, and I really wanna answer. If you have any type of question, guys, in here, I have again the WhatsApp channel for some of you guys. It says WhatsApp channel, yeah, for you guys. If you haven't joined, this is for a student that was you were in the comments. Yeah, we have in here, guys. This is the WhatsApp channel. And also we have another, live site where I'm sharing with you the presentations. So what I'm going to do, please, guys, you have to go visit it weekly, and I'm going to upload there all the presentations for you guys to have it. And we're going to keep the channel, WhatsApp channel, because that is for me, for example, like an emergency. If we don't have any type of power, we don't have internet connection is bad, or I don't know if an emergency or something happens. So I'm going to keep with this channel. It's for me to share with you any important information. Okay. And here we have the quote, and the quote says, life or death for a young child too often depends on whether he is born in a country where vaccines are available or not. You know how, this quote really impacted, my life. It is, quote by Nelson Mandela, because that is true. Life or death for a young child too often depends on whether. A lot of people, there are other countries where they don't have access, to all this, like vaccines. And that's why a lot of millions, of children in the world die every day since they don't have access to these vaccines. So how important it is. So here in Guatemala, we were born in this country where vaccines, some of them, not all of them, but some of them are available and are for free. But what about those places where they don't have access to this type of vaccines, So that's why we too really, I love it, because in this case, here in Guatemala, I know that our health system is not as good. Yeah. But the thing is that at least I want to motivate you guys to, get vaccinated, even if you're women, if you're a man, if you have children for your family, if you want to be alive for them. we need to protect ourselves from future, like illnesses, as it says. And as it says in here, we have those access. Yes, so please visit those, places so we can have and get more healthy, or healthy, have a healthier life, and we can be more active for you. So I don't know if you have any other question, guys. If you have any other question, yes, yes. So you have any other question based on the course or on the class we have today? Do you have any question? Yes? No? Have you gotten vaccinated? Yes? Yes or no? Yes or no? And you? Yes? Do you got all your vaccines? What about the COVID-19 vaccine? Do you got it? Yes or no? Administer? Yes? You yes? And you? No, you didn't. There were 3 doses. And you got only one. Just one. And you see, you're the light here. Yes. You didn't die. You didn't pass away. Yes. And what about you? Did you get vaccinated? Did you get all your vaccines? No? No? You didn't? So. Mhm. Okay. So then, and you guys hit it and you tell me? No? Well, so then that's it for today, guys. Thank you very much for your attention. If you don't have any other questions, you don't have any other, like comment, I'm waiting for you guys. Today in class, we ended at first. So you have any other question, just let me know. I see there. Yes. No? Ana Garcia, yes, you got vaccinated. Yes, okay, very good. Someone else? You got vaccinated? How important it is, to be active, to do our exercises, to have a healthy diet, to, like have a good mental health, to work in our emotions, and also to get vaccinated. In that way, you're going to have a very successful and healthy life. Yes? So I think we don't have any more comments, guys. Okay? So if you don't have any comments, I want to thank you guys. Thank you for your attention. Yes, thanks. I want to share with you all these presentations, Just remember that every, week you have to just check there in the website. And I'm going to share with you this presentation. Okay? Thank you guys. Thank you for your attention. Have a great Saturday. Enjoy with your family and friends. Bye bye. Thank you very much. Okay. Here.